Shinkawa's face. Anyone want to say it's raping time? Because that face is definitely going to be meme material. That face is definitely going to turn into a meme. It's definitely going to have raping time put on it. I sense it so freaking much. I sense it. I can't wait to see pictures like that. But anyways, Shinkawa, what do you all think about this revelation of how he was the brother of the original Def Gun? For instance, the real person like Zaza that was in SAO. How do you feel about that, Chibits? All of you anime-only watchers, did you expect this? I've seen a lot of Chibits, point the dots and pretty much say it's Shinkawa. It was Shinkawa that was Def Gun. I've seen a lot of Chibits bring this up and mention this a couple times through the course of this anime series airing. And so, I bet some Chibits are like, I wasn't surprised, but some are like, still, holy shit, his rape face, like, I felt like the way they animated this episode, it had a lot more, impact on the faces. When I was reading this in the light novels, I was like, damn, this is freaking crazy. But seeing how Shinkawa's face was acting, the way his dialogue was coming out, and the way his voice actor was talking, about freaking Shion, I was like, oh my god, it was really freaking creepy. It really was. His face and the animation on his face, and the way you just see him start drooling, he's like, Shion. I was reminded of, Yuno Gasai. That's exactly what I was reminded of when I saw him in this episode. I was like, he is a male yandere. That's exactly what he is. He's a creepy male yandere that is about to rape Shion, and she's about to get injected with some deadly fluids from the syringe. Now, this episode, for the most part, I thought was going to end Gun Gal Online. I really thought Gun Gal Online was going to end this episode because of this part, but they managed to actually make the entire episode paced out a lot better than I thought. I am really happy there's going to be another episode of Gun Gal Online, and most likely next week's episode is going to conclude this part of the light novel. Now, right now, from this episode, what can I say? The episode has a lot of cringy moments, not because it's bad, it's like, oh my god, because, the way the studio animated the face of Shinkawa, the way he goes creepy mode and yandere mode, like he's going like a psychopath, it was just like, damn. He's like, back the fuck up, dude. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, that guy is creepy. And I wonder what anime-only watchers are thinking right now. Like, you Chibits that are anime-only watchers, I wonder what you are thinking when you saw that entire personality. Finding out more about him and all that, and how he just wants Shion. He's like, you're my Shion, you're mine. I'm like, it's just like, no, my god. Okay, so the animation, for the most part, this episode looked pretty good. The only time the animation looked a little bit off, I think, was Shinkawa's rape face. That's the only time I think the animation seemed a little bit off in this episode. The way his, face looked just did not look right to me. It looked a little bit off, but besides that, I felt like the animation for the most part of this episode was pretty fluid. Not the best, but it still was pretty fluid, and the art looked really great, especially in the fighting scene with you getting to see Def Gun and Kirito squaring off with each other. That was a really nice scene. I liked the way that looked in this episode. Now, for one thing though, I wonder how everybody feels about, Shion and Kirito technically winning at the exact same time, and I know I'm going to see it right now. I'm going to see it so much. People are going to say, that's the Hunger Games. But if I am correct, I could be wrong. I know I could possibly be wrong, but I believe that Gun Gal Online, this volume that they're adapting, was out before the Hunger Games. So, I don't know. The ending reminds me of the Hunger Games. Like I said, I will stand corrected if I am wrong and the Hunger Games came out before, SAO's volume of this volume. But either way, that ending definitely is going to remind a lot of people of the Hunger Games, of how two people technically win at the end because of suicide, pretty much. You gotta love that moment when Kirito grabs the fucking bomb and he's like, hot potato, hot potato. I was like, dude, that was so much better compared to the light novels. I'm going to tell you right now, that was so much better getting to see the reaction face of Kirito, the way he was acting. And when you see him, doing hot potato, all of a sudden you have Shion just dive and hug him, I'm like, and he's like, fuck, I'm dead. That's exactly what he's thinking. That's exactly what you would think when you're playing the game. You're like, fuck, I'm screwed, I'm dead. And, explosions. So, I felt like the episode was very fun and enjoyable, and then it definitely went over to the dark side a little bit this episode in the later half, especially with Shinkawa revealing his true personality. Now, the main subject of the matter of this episode is that we now know that there's two brothers that were Def Gun. Okay, it's two Def Guns we know of. The thing is where is the other Death Gun? I mean, where is Shinkawa's brother at currently? Where is he at? So there's a lot of questions what's going down right there. And also another factor is why is Kirito right now at the apartment? Because he said technically he would not come to the apartment before he died in Gun Gal Online. So why is he in that apartment? Like, why did he decide to come anyways? Big question right there. Oh yes, one thing I want to mention is the character development of Shion in this episode. It's probably hard to tell, it depends on what you're looking at, but the entire scene where you see, you know, the real world Shion just crouched down, like, huddled, like, in a fetal position, and you see, you know, her, like, gamer self, Gun Gal Online version self, talking to herself, pretty much, that was character development. It was, like, symbolism showing that the real life Shion is accepting her Gun Gal Online counterpart, and she's trying to grow stronger. She's accepted her, you know, like I said, her virtual reality self, and is trying to move past her pains and issues. And so that just shows you the entire circle of her development, and most likely next episode will conclude the development of Shion from this arc, and we'll most likely have some more development for Kirito. Overall, a very, very good episode that I think was paced properly. Like I said, I did not expect this episode to actually last this long. I thought it was going to end this episode, but I'm happy. I'm fucking happy. They're actually taking their time once again. They're showing that they're taking their time with adapting Gun Gal Online. Now, I've had a lot of Chibits ask me exactly what is next after this. There's not going to be no spoilers, so don't worry. I'm not going to spoil you. But a lot of Chibits have asked me what is left. Like, what is next for SAO after, you know, Gun Gal Online is over. This arc is over, Phantom Bullet. Pretty much, we will be moving into the Caliber arc. And then we got another arc after that's called Mother Rosario. So we have 2 more arcs that most likely can fit into this season. I would say Caliber is going to be about maybe 3 or 4 episodes at the maximum. And then you'll probably have Mother Rosario that takes place for the rest of the series. And we might have a setup for the next arc at the end of the Season 2 of SAO. Now, besides that, I do want to mention one more thing before I end this review. You gotta love the title drop in this, like the title drop to the episode. For instance, when you see Shion aiming at Death Gun, and you see, like, you know, the line of sight pointing at Death Gun and he tries to dodge, you gotta like what Kirito says, like, it's a phantom bullet. Pretty much, you had Shion doing, like, I guess, a decoy. She was just faking to shoot Death Gun with the line of sight pointing at him. He had to dodge. Instinctively, he was trying to dodge, even though it was a fake. So, it was a phantom bullet. There was nothing that was going to come after Death Gun. So, pretty much, Shion was a decoy with her line of sight, and then Kirito sliced him. So, you gotta like the title drop to the name of the episode, Phantom Bullet. So, anyways, tell me your thoughts about this episode of SAO Season 2. What was your favorite moments? What do you feel about, you know, Shinkawa's personality change? What do you feel about him having that raping time face? And what do you feel about how this episode turned out? What do you feel about the plot twist of Shinkawa? I know a lot of Chibits expected it, but how do you truly feel about that? Let me know in the comments below, and if I had to rate this episode, I would give it an 8 out of 10, or 8.5 out of 10, somewhere around in there. Tell me your thoughts, be safe, Chibi out.